Hey, what's going on? This is James from All Hail Internal Combustion. Make sure you like and subscribe. That helps us get more content out to you guys. So today we're working on the wife's Honda Pilot. And when you buy a used car, sometimes you don't get the full set of keys. So the ignition was replaced in this. I actually think it was probably a body control module issue, which we're facing now. It's a whole different scenario. But when you don't have the keys, sometimes the keys get locked in the door. So I make a decision, what window is the easiest to break out of the car so that I can get into the car and then go get a new window from the junkyard, as I know most of the inventory on my local junkyards. So I decided to break this little window out here, and it's right here at the lock. It's hard to slim jim newer stuff, and I don't even bother. It takes me 15 minutes to pull a window out. Teaches you not to lock the keys in the car. So we're going to replace this today. It's real simple. A couple screws behind the handle. Most Hondas are like this. They have a plate that you pull apart. Here, I'll just go ahead and pull it apart now. You get a pick in here, and there's always a little spot to stick something in. You can just get the pick in there and pull that apart. So there's two Phillips screws in there. If you make sure you don't flip your door panel, you got cup holders in the door like this. I just put all my fasteners right in there. I think I've always done that with every door panel I've ever taken off, unless it's going to be stored for a while, or even the pockets down here. I'll tell you one thing, this thing needs power washed after my kids have been in the back of it. Alright, so then you usually have your little swing clip here on the rod. Push that off the rod. I just broke it. That's exactly what happened on the other side. This little clip here, the rod slides down inside of this hole and it clicks over. I did the window on the other side about a year ago, and that same clip broke. So this is a problem, and if you go to the junkyard, I did get another clip. I just don't know where it is right now. So we'll find it. I'm sure it was in one of my pants pockets from that day. So be wary, that's going to break on you. And the universal pack at AutoZone doesn't work. It doesn't have the right clip in it. So take the one out of the junkyard car if you don't break that one. I wouldn't be surprised if it's similar. Probably has the same exact clip in the Honda Ridgeline, possibly, or maybe some of the other Hondas. I know the Accords have a similar handle. So you have a Phillips head screwdriver down here too. It's in a long hole. Not really sure if I think I got it loose. These are helpful, but not a necessity. This is a clip popper. Kind of get up underneath. Pop the clips out if you can find them. Well, I did get that screw that just fell out. Usually once you get it started, get your fingers in there, try to get to the tightest spot, and just pull straight out. Don't try to twist or bend in a different direction. Just pull straight out on it. Still feels like there's something attached right here. A cup holder. I don't think the switch comes out. I know it sounds like I'm breaking it, but I'm really not. Okay. And you're going to have a power cord here. There's your door panel. I usually lean it up somewhere like this. I'll tell you what. One more screw in here. I have no idea how to get to it. This little piece of plastic popped out and there's a screw going through it, but I'm not seeing how to take that out. Well, you guys don't have to make the same mistake I did. I'm not super concerned with keeping the interior of this car nice. My kids make the back a mess, so just try to fix things. And there's plenty of these in the junkyard to get parts from. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a screw. There we go. So that's what it is. This little cup holder comes out. I already unplugged the switch, but I'll show you guys where the screw is after you take the cup holder out. Right down in there is a Phillips screwdriver. So and I just kind of ripped that out, but it didn't break the door panel. And as you can see, I'll show you here in a second, I don't think I broke any of the clips either. When I was saying, pull them straight out, every clip is still here. I pulled them straight out and didn't break any. Now on your older cars, the 90s, maybe even 80s with this application, these are going to break on you. Just take it to the auto parts store. You should be able to get replacements if you do need some.
And you can also order small boxes of them online with like 20 pieces and keep that in stock. You'll need them.
I'm going to put this little piece back in and hope that it will work as like a drywall anchor. Next, you got to take the speaker out. If I was smart, I would have gotten a tip for my impact gun. Although a good rule with speakers is to never use anything electric around a speaker cone. Obviously these cheap factory speakers don't really matter, but if you have good audio equipment, the rule of thumb is to never use electric tools around your subs or any of your other speakers. Videos on sound equipment to come. Anyway, you gotta take this annoying plastic off. And in the junkyard, I wasn't too concerned with saving it. Just plastic, but I usually just unhook it from around that plastic piece. You can pop them out if you want. Let's see, if you just work around here and you pull right at the base of this stuff, you won't rip your plastic. And you think, well, what do I need that plastic there for? You'd be surprised how much wind this actually stops from coming inside of your car. It's a good insulator, good noise insulator actually. Just this piece of plastic alone does a lot.
And it also serves as kind of a vapor barrier from keeping the inside of your car getting too much condensation. Because you'll notice a lot of older cars that used to use the paper on the doors, they get damp on the inside. And plastic does help to keep that out. So if you got an older car, break you out some contractor bags and cut some new ones.
Ooh, it's stubborn down here around the speaker. Only the best from Honda. They use some super sticky here. Oh, a knife would probably be useful too. Get in there. Just kind of shave it off. Look at that. Just a nice little knife and just saw that off. It'll re-stick, and if it doesn't, you can use something else like caulk or something. You can re-stick it. So. Okay. There it is. Now, the biggest thing with this is before you start, you need to roll this window down. Once you just need to roll it down to get the new window in and to pull the tracking up. If the window's up, you'll have issues with that. Alright, get our little cup here. Plug that in. Boop. Roll the window down. All the way down. Alright. Alright. See, these are keyed on the motor, so you just have to loosen those and take this one all the way out. We also have to disconnect the wiring for the motor. This is where, with these, they're really hard to get up under, so you could try a flathead screwdriver. There you go. See, I didn't break it. See these little tabs on the side push in, so it lets that come out. It's nice to have these, although you can use zip ties. See, this one's sideways. You have to look down in there and see what's going on. Usually once you get one out and come from the other side, pop that out. See how that was sideways? So we'll put this inside the door, lift the motor out. Just leave that in there like that for now. And then next, you want to kind of support your window down here and just take this outer track off, and there's a long bolt and a spacer inside the door. You want to put that stuff off to the side. And this is the last window bolt, or the tracking. That's for right here. See, this moves this out of the way. So now what you do is you take your your rubber stripping, you kind of pull it straight off here at the corner, and it comes out of this tracking right here. There's a Phillips screw head right here that holds the top of this back window track in. You just unscrew that. Doesn't seem like it's coming out. It's dropping all at the same time. Alright. Well, don't lose that, guys. It's very specific. Into the cup holder it goes. Alright, so then you just support your window just in case. Oh, sorry. You have to pull the window rubber out of it too. You need to get this all the way out of the way. And you'll have to put that window stripping back in there. So be aware of that. You're gonna have to twist it, pull it up like this. Don't twist it too much, because remember, you got your window resting in there. And you could have probably let that hang, but I don't want to scratch this nice black paint. So here's our new window. Alright, I remember what I need to do here. This tracking here, I didn't take it apart real nice in the junkyard. So this tracking slides out here. There's these little blue clips, and I'll tell you, they are a pain on this piece right here. You gotta try to disconnect them from inside here. So there's like a metal tab down below. And this isn't cooperating at all. These blue tabs need to come out of here. Let's go to the outside. See, you want to be careful not to be scratching your paint up either, so I just broke the end of that. Yeah, they didn't make this too easy to come out of here. I'm not sure why. I guess they didn't want it coming off going down the road. So I'm going to struggle with this for a little bit. We'll get right back with you once we get this piece of molding out. Alright, so I missed a step here. You want to leave your motor hooked up and bring the window up to the level of these two. You'll see the bolts on the bottom of the window to these two holes. Take those two out and hold your window, and you'll be able to pull your window out of here. You want to remove the window because of having to pull this out of here. You have to pry right here, and the window still sticks up here. So right in the middle of these blue clips, if you see them, they look like little ghosts hanging on there. Okay, you put your screwdriver right in between those spots. See, this one's not unhooked, and you pry it up. You do the same on this very end one. And it should come out without breaking. That one broke. So, that's okay. I think I had one break on the other side too, probably even the same one. And then you can see it's hard because there's if I can get this clip out without breaking it. So if you look at them, this one is cracked, but it has a tab here that pushes back and holds against here. So you almost have to just pry just against this much, but not inhibit this from popping out of place. It's just, to me, it's hard to find a way to get in there. I guess you could come in from the inside. No, you can't, because that's completely closed off there. So maybe even a small pick you could get in there. You know, it's good to science this out now. Maybe by this video you won't end up breaking your stuff. So we're going to put it right back where those two little marks are. Bam. And we'll be able to put that back in. Okay, scienced it out here. Pull this molding out the rest of the way on the outside. Slide the top into the tracking. And just tilt the bottom just a little bit. And just evenly push it over here. Until the tracking's right where it needs to be on the outside. You'll see it seat in there. Okay. I'm having a very little funky issue here at the top. I think the molding's not sitting in correctly. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. So we got that good. Now we're going to put our window back in. Got our window. Put it in the same way it came out. You want to put it in how it sits normally. Kind of sit on the tracking over here. It should put you far enough away. Sit in that tracking over there. I'm folding under. Make sure you don't fold it under like I'm doing. There we go. It slid right down into place. Okay. Now we got to make sure we're sitting in the right place for our screws. We are. They normally have catches on them. One of these screws in here. Whoa. Always hold your window. That almost was bad. Well, it may not have broken, but okay. Let's try that again. Okay. Now, the other one fell down in the door. That's not it. I don't know where the other one got to. Falling where I can't get it, I guess. Oh, I found it. Treasure hunt is over. Now my socket.
Better get that back, that's a 10.
Yeah. We saved you a little 10, it's okay. Alright. Now, you don't need to put that molding back in. You want to start your car back up. Plug your little cup holder back in. Okay. Actually, you want to put it all the way down. I'm serving as the track over on this side. Okay. Alright, unplug that. You turn the key off because the cooling fan's running. And now we have to put the tracking back in for the window. right here. For my memory, this little tab goes up. Okay. These two are the two bolts that we took out here. The spacer. So, push your window back. Probably going to feed in from the outside. Actually, something you want to do ahead of time. Put your tracking, put this back in and feed your window track back in. So we can, this goes back in really easy, actually. So, but you don't want to be doing that down in the door, and this needs to slide over top of the window. So, put it back on there. And I don't want to assume that it wasn't overhanging there. So, push your window forward. Your tracking's gonna sit down against the windows. Just slide it in there like that. You might have to get inside and kind of guide it in there. But that right there is about where you want to be. Let's put our tracking in. That'll kind of give us a rough estimate if we're over enough. Looks like we are not. But we'll get that screw hole lined up on the top. Take a look at that. Oh, yep. Caught. I'm a little short, so I just grab this battery stool here, and there we go. I'm lined up. You will have to kind of force it over there a little bit. Obviously, don't break anything. Alright, got my screw. Put this in through the top, squeeze it over. Using that beveled screw, it kind of pulls the tracking into place. Everything looks beautiful out there. You can go ahead and pop this back in once you get that tightened down. This is goes underneath of this right here. You have to pull that away and kind of put that in there. You pull this down. That's how it's lapped. Kind of start on the front edge and tuck that in. Maybe you start on the back edge on the side. Just kind of look at your molding, see where it's going. I was tucking into the wrong spot. Yep, so you start your front edge, then you push your back edge in. And just flip your molding back over top. Bang. That's pretty much it. Let's get those two bolts in there. Remember, it was a long bolt and the spacer. And this cup holder is disgusting. Okay. Long bolt. Spacer right here. Now I would suggest you put everything in by at least just not tighten it all the way until you get everything lined up. That's not good. There we go. Okay. Now, spacer goes here. Yeah, this one might be the tricky one. Oh, look at that. I was sticking up inside my socket and I wasn't able to make it thread in. We'll do this one by hand, I guess. goes. Okay. The first thing before you tighten that, you want to make sure your molding's sitting okay vertically. Okay. So I took a guess, but right here at the top of the trim is where that corner goes. So we actually need a little bit more of this from this direction. I'm going to pull this out. Pull it and reseat this back into the corner. How many moldings can you put on one door? Okay. Well, still a little needs to go a little bit over. So with molding, sometimes you can stretch them a little bit, not a lot, but you can stretch them to get them to go where you need them to go. Finish out correctly. And if you're getting aftermarket stuff for older cars, that doesn't always fit perfectly unless you're spending a lot of money on it. But you can make it work by stretching it a little bit or bunching it up in other situations. So I like to just pull this over a little bit. Make sure it's tight against the window. Okay. We can go ahead and tighten our motor back down. We need that third bolt. That's why I said keyway. I guess technically this job you don't have to take the motor out. You could leave it in there. But if you jump the gun like I did, or if you're taking it out of the junkyard, you do need to take the motor out. And if you have no power at the junkyard, you can't roll the window up and down. I'll give you a tip. You take this metal cap off the regulator here. There's 2 Phillips screws, and you pull this off, and there's a round armature in there. That's what is the motor. So you stick that in there, and you spin that armature by hand, and it will slowly roll your window down. So push on your window and spin that armature in the right direction, and it will roll the window down for you so that you can do this in the junkyard with no power. So we got our wire hooked back up, plugged back in. I guess before we get moving on putting the door on, we can go ahead and put this guy with the ghost clips back in. I broke it a little bit, but it is what it is. So you just kind of curl those. Make sure those blue clips are curling into place here. Yep. Hard to take off, super easy to put back on. Then this guy goes on. This will be what the door, that doesn't seem right, huh? As you look at your molding, I think it goes down like this. That's right. There we go. Alright, so once you get everything in, make sure that you check your window goes all the way up and down. This is maybe a little slow. I think that the rubber might need to be adjusted a little bit on the outside, but it seems to go up and down okay. We actually had an issue where it jumped out of the front channel up here. It wasn't in there back in here either. So we had to take some things apart, wiggle stuff around to get it to come out of there and to get it back in track. Alright, so now we'll finish putting the door back together. Now the plug goes through this section right here. I usually just start at a corner and, you know, we got these little black things, these cappers. I told you I don't bother even pulling out, because I just slide the plastic right back underneath of it. So, and as you're sticking that stuff back on, just push it real good. It'll stick again. And then make sure your rod's back through the plastic here. You'll need it. Not quite sure what's going on there. I see. The plastic goes underneath the rod here, actually. Dropping it. I think it's a little cold out. It's not sticking as well as maybe on a warm summer day. It's not sticking at all there. So anyway, put this, hang this right off this piece. Alright, wow. Alright, so like if it's warm outside, it's like a lot easier to do this. If it's chilly and rainy like it is today, it's not easy to do this. So, whatever you find a way to fix your plastic back to your door, whether you use new caulk or if it's warm outside and it works, get it back on there. Next, we're going to hook the speaker back up. Put that in there. Should only go one way, I believe. I think the car is just mad at me. I broke the window out, so now it's making me, I didn't lock the keys in the car though. It's making me suffer for it, that's for sure. Alright. Make sure you get them all started before you actually screw it in there. Alright. We're done there. We got the 2 screws and the 2 screws. That's all we got left, so let's put the door panel back on. Make sure you feed your plug up to where it needs to be. And that your door lock goes through your hole. Like that. And always reach in there and just pop it back up, and then make sure your lever is going to be somewhere you can get to it too. So now this door, you hook them on the top, give them a little tap, and you just make sure you're lined up. Just give it a good smack straight in like you took them out. Now the door is pretty much back on. Now we're going to put our screw in the mystery spot that I didn't see. Oh yeah, it's threading in there nice. Alright. I manhandled it off and managed to not break it. That's bonus points. The gold screw's going below here. This one's always hard to find. See, I didn't even get it there, I don't think. Oh yeah, this one's fun. There we go. Alright. Now we're gonna pop the switch back in here. The windows. Alright. Looks like that just snaps down in there too. So, I guess line the cup holder up first. There we go. And fancy feature of the Honda, even though the key's off, the window still works. So, yeah. I'm not going to put this door handle back on because I need this clip and I need to find it. So, I'm going to drop it on the ground first and then throw it in this door panel. The 2 black screws that I have, I'm going to go ahead and thread them in here so they don't get lost. Hopefully my son doesn't unscrew them from the door with his fingers. Yeah, he'll do it. There we go. This is James from All Hail Internal Combustion, and that's how you, with some frustration, replace the Honda Pilot back window, or even this window. Now if you do this window, you won't have to do this one. Obviously you're messed with that, but you still have to pull this track out. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll keep the content flowing. Until next time.